All right, Dad. I made a recording for you today because I wanted to share with you my trading. And so I'm going to go ahead and start the trading session this morning so you can watch it with me and I can explain. Um, so there's two big gappers today. This one's up 209%. This one's up 204%. You've got MINM, and OMGA. And I turned my computer on today and I saw this stock, and I can see that right here it's turning green. This is trying to do a recovery after this big dip. And I took 200 shares to begin with just because it looked good. This stock had met 1, 2, 3, 4 jumps today, which is really strong early in the day. And this just looked like kind of a recovery. 200 shares, I figure if it doesn't pan out, I'll just sell it again. It's no big deal. But this is a 1-minute chart. This is a 5-minute chart. This is a daily chart. And this is the time and sales, which is like a receipt tape. And this is the time and sales as well. But I took 200 shares here on this stock because I wanted to break this point here on a recovery. I figured I can lose. Right now I'm down $6. My average entry for this stock was $5.34 a share. So I'm down 6 cents. And I'm down $10 total here. 200 shares on OMGA. That says OMGA. Like I said, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 jumps in the stock. This is a 1-minute chart, so every candle here represents 1 minute. The green is when a stock finished higher than where it started the 1 minute. The red is when a stock finished below where it started the 1 minute. So on the 5-minute chart, this is 5 minutes total, so it's at 8:35. It started a new candle right there, and it will go till 8:40. Like I said, I'm in 1,000 shares right now, and my entry again is 533. It's at 532. This is the highest price that someone's willing to sell at, or the lowest price someone's willing to sell at. Oops. And I got out of that stock. Nope, I'm still in it. I still have 1,000 shares in. I bought into a total of 1,000 shares. We're waiting to see what it does. Again, this is the lowest price that somebody will sell. This is the highest price that someone's willing to pay. And in the middle is where the transactions take place. So I'll wait for this to continue and then I'll explain it further to you. So I'm up $48 on 1,000 shares. That's not very much, just 2 or 3 cents. But again, that's $48 right there. There's 48, 73, 68. I remember right, this goes up to like $99. I'm trying to I'm hoping that it's going to break this orange line. The orange line is the 9-day moving average. The yellow line is called the VWAP. That's the actual average price of the stock. And the blue line is the 20-day moving average. And so I'm trying to get the 9-day moving average is my favorite line. It's most important on the 5-minute chart. You can stick your finger into here. You can stick your finger into here and in here and there. That's because it's writing above the 9. And so this shows some real good strength that it never comes back and touches the 9 after it starts. It's here, and then it finally touched the 9 again after all that movement. It touched it right there. So I'm waiting for this stock to break the orange. I'm up 7 cents if it's going off of the highest price that someone's willing to sell at or buy at. I put a sell order in. I took it. I got it for $58. And that's how that stock went. But I just like this pattern. It's the second largest mover on the day. It's up 98%, which is not a lot. But if you look, the next one below that's 31. This day is getting weaker as it goes along. This stock was up 280% earlier this morning, and it's at 183. So the day's kind of breaking down. Anyway, I got tired of this stock. It had 22 million shares available in the market, which is It's a lot for a day trader. That's kind of the peak where we really want to go. I'd like to trade something with less shares available in the market. Well, you get GM and Ford, they have 32 billion shares available on the market. That's a lot. This one has 22 million, which is not huge, but it's still above where I like to trade. But this other stock, MINM, only has 1 million shares available on the market. I'd much rather trade that because there's a lot more price action. It's harder to get a hold of that stock because there's less shares in the market, which makes it more volatile, which means that stock could move up or down a lot more, a lot quicker. So here in a second, I switch over to MINM to try to make some trades on that stock. And so I've explained a lot of things here. So the white is the sales of the stock that go through between the lowest prices someone's willing to sell and the highest prices someone's willing to buy at. Right now, it's only 1 penny, 43 to 44, 43 to 45. So that's where all the white is there's a sale for 100, 400, 500, 100. All these sales are going through between, the white ones go through between these two numbers. If you get a red one, it goes through for 544. It goes through at a price that's higher than the lowest prices someone's willing to sell at. So the red right here, those sales went through above the price of 543. And the white sales go through in between, which is called the spread between 540 and 541. Then the greens are all the sales that go through below the price, the lowest price is the highest price that somebody's willing to buy at. You can see all those greens. This green went through at 482, but it went through above, probably like a quarter of a cent above 482. But everything green goes through below 485 and downwards. This is the lowest price, highest price that someone's willing to pay, and the lowest price that someone's willing to sell at. So you've got some green, some white. So we've changed to MINN right here, and I made a quick trade there. Let's go back and have a look at it. Here we go. I've switched to MINN. I just took a 1,800 share position at $4.83. I'm up $54, and I'm looking here on the 5. It's bouncing off the 9-minute. Again, I told you I love the 9-minute on the 5. I can put my finger in here. I can put my finger in there. Every time that this thing takes off, it bounces off the orange. This point right here was particularly strong because it bounced off the VWAP, which is the yellow, and the orange on the 5-minute at the same time. That's a really strong candle right there. And it continued to go up for 20 minutes is what that was. That's this whole thing right here, 20 minutes. That's this. And it all was above right in the 9. So I want this to bounce back off the 9. I got out when it failed a little bit. I took a $90 profit right there. I got out at the top of that candle. 1,800 shares to take maybe a 5-cent profit was $90. So now I'm up $148 for the day. If you can look, the highest volume candle of the day, which is the highest number of sales in a 1 minute, was right here, this big candle, and it just got covered. So this was earlier when I was recording. This is Ross, my instructor. He hid his P&L for the day right there, so I got rid of it. But this is the largest volume for the day. In this 1 minute, there was over 700,000 shares that went through that 1 minute. And that's that big long candle. These here, the red or the green, are when there's more green sales that go through than sales. So more buy than sell, and the red are more sell than buy. So this minute was a profitable minute. It went up, up, and up. And then I don't know why this one went red on such a big green candle, but it did. And you can see the volume has been really light compared to this big candle here. And that's because there's only 1 million shares on the market. That's why this one was so gigantic. And so we're watching it again. and I'm wanting this to bounce off of the nine-day moving average, which is the orange on the 5 minute. That's my favorite. This is my favorite setup right here, particularly if the blue line's crossing all three at the same time. You can usually get a really, really strong trade when it trades up like that. So if I got all three of those lines crossing heading up right here, I'd have gone in full position from $4 up to $5.50. That's $1.50 per share. But that's my favorite move right there. So anyhow, we're 10 minutes into this video, and I hope you understand a little bit more than you did when we started. So when we look at a stock, we look at the past history to see what it can do. The past history of this stock, and it was only just in November, you can see on one day this went from $4.75 up to even straight on $10. And so we don't look anything behind here. Right now, I'm looking at this one stock. I started here, and it's open skies, which means that it can ride from right here all the way up. If there was a bunch of stocks in here at different days, those would be resistance points that this was trying to run into. But this is a pretty blue sky setup is what we call it. So this stock's got a lot of room to run up. Okay, so if we're looking, the 5 minute candle's green. Come on, Ra, get that out of here. Come on. He's drawing a line here on the same stock. And this is what's called an ascending wedge. It's got to continue to go up. If it breaks down here, the stock's going to die, but he drew the line, and I think it's going to continue to go up. Get it out. One are gone. Come on, get it out. Good. Anyway, this is the blue sky setup on the charts right here. There's no resistance until I get all the way up to here and then all the way up to here. So it can climb quite a bit in the price range. If these were all in the middle and in between, that would be a different story. So I want this to ride the 9 and form another bounce up. Typically, if I go in 2,000 shares and I get 50, 60 cents, I'm a pretty happy camper. But I don't know that that's going to do this. So this green here is market time. It's 8:45. It's 2 hours ahead of us. So we're about 45 minutes ahead from market open. At 9 o'clock, news will come out. And if there's a breaking news story, it can take a lot of interest away from whatever stock that I'm trading. So I don't really like to ride a stock through the 9 o'clock news, but I will if I've got a really good position. I don't have any positions right now. And right now I'm up $148 for the day. You know, the first time I was on YouTube and I saw Ross, this guy trading this stuff and doing this, I'm like, holy cow, that's incredible. Can I imagine making $100 in a day? That's just insane. Look what he did. He made $500 in like 6 seconds. And it was nuts. And I've seen him make $10,000 in 20 seconds. And it was nuts. And I thought, man, what if I could just make $20 a day? And last March, my goal was $20 a day. And a couple days ago, I took a $1,000 trade. And today I'm at $148 by this video. I'm not going to spoil it by saying where I end up, positive or negative, but I thought, you know what? I'll just re-record this video with sound. So here we are. So it's taking a dip down. I don't like that. So I've got a buy and a buy with an average price. I did 800 shares for $5.33. I did 200 shares for $8.34. I sold it for $8.39, 6 cents, and made $58. Then on this stock, BCTX just popped up. It's got these 2 wicks on here. This is called a tweezer top. And I don't trust that. That means the stock's going to go down. This stock started at $5.04. It's at $5.91. It's up $1. So on the 5 of these candles make one of these because it's a 5-minute chart. This is a big wick. We call that a shooting star. That means the stock's probably going to go down. Usually stocks that are moving continue to go instead of pull back. If they pull back a little bit. They don't wait. And this one's dying. There we go. If we go down a little bit, I still might trust it. If we go down more, I wouldn't trust it. If we go down a lot, that's just the end of this stock for the day. And BCTX is, I don't like that. It went back down too much. Ooh, look at that. That's called a knife. Right here, that's called a knife. That stock is done for the day. I don't trust it. It's not worth it. Stocks copy each other. You can see this drop and this drop. They're at the top of those climbs. So that stock is done for the day. But look here. Went back to NIM or MINN, and it's breaking this. It's riding the 9. That's a fantastic sign. I'm going to take some stock here in a second. That's a fantastic sign. I want this stock to break that previous stock's high. We call that the first stock to break a first new candle is what we call that. I just went in 400 shares. It's sitting there right at $5. Right now it's a point of resistance because it's approaching $5. I want it to break through $5. I want it to stay above $5. That's when it becomes a point of resistance. So we got 508 on the highest price anybody's willing to buy at. It's above it. I go in another 600 shares, I believe is what it is. I've got 1,000 shares in. If it continues to go up, I'll probably buy in 2,000 shares. I'm up $54 on this right now, on this trade. The blue carrots are my entries. The reds are my exits. So I'm up to 513, 512, 515. I'm up $94. A red candle, it should keep going. If it doesn't, I want the hell out. And it's hesitating. It should have kept going. It's hesitating. I want the hell out. So I want to get out now because it's hesitating and it's not going anywhere. So any second now, I just decide to pull the trigger and exit that stock because I buy stocks that are moving. The ones that are making me money. The longer on, oh, there you go. I got out for $184 total. I'm up $242 for the day. I buy into stocks that are moving because it's making me money. If it's sitting there, when I'm waiting, my neck's out there. I've got $10,000 with my neck out on the line, and I'm not very comfortable with that. So when the stock quits moving, I get out. And if you look, I darn near got out at the very top. And I made another $100 net. So I'm up $184 on that stock. So I don't know what that stock's going to do. This is called a doji. When it's white, it doesn't know if it's going to go up or go down. It's just undecided. There's another one over here. So that tells me people aren't sure what it's going to do. But the thing that I like is it broke through. That's my favorite setup again. The 9-day moving average broke through the 20-day moving average, and it's riding above the orange, and it's doing the same thing here. So I say that's a favorable move. It doesn't say what it's going to do yet, but it means that this stock's not done yet. And if it continues to go up and break up above here, I'll probably get back in again. If it drops back down, I need it to maintain above the orange line. Above the orange line. And it can bounce. It can go below the orange line and go back through, but I'm not comfortable with that. I'm looking for the first candle to make a new high. When this candle here broke above that red carrot, I got in. And so on the 5-minute, it's red. On the 1 minute, it's green. But I'm more concerned about the 5-minute. So I'm just watching now. So the highest price that someone's willing to pay is 508. The lowest price that someone's willing to sell is at 509. So there's 2,900 sales. This one bought 100. He had zeros behind it. So I've got 2,000 or 1,800 shares here. I bought in right there. And it's still right above the 9. So I'm figuring out that I've got $9,200 I spent to make that purchase right here. I bought in 1,800 shares at an average price of $514. I'm down $126. but I'm riding above the orange here after a big candle. This is the 5 minute. This is more important than the 1 minute. During a time like this, I depend on the 5 minute. If I've got a stock that's really moving, then I'm more concerned about the 1 minute. So right now, this is what's more important to me is the 5 minute chart. I need it to stay above this. If you look, we've been riding for 20 minutes. We've been riding the 9-day moving average. So it's going up. 514. This is a good candle. Bounced off the 9. I need it to recover. Come on. Go back up. I'm down $90. This $90 is biting into my 242. I don't like that overall. Now I'm down 180. I'm almost at a loss. I got $40 to play with. But I'm very confident that this is going to ride this 9 and probably take another jump here in a few minutes. So I'm staying in. All these things add up and look really, really good. And so this is what's called a 3-minute pullback. And that's why I'm more confident. It's a 3-minute pullback, and a green candle there is still above the 9-day on the 1 minute. And we're still above the orange on the 5 minute. It's going to go good. So I'm watching here. I'm down 163. We're bouncing off the $5 mark. $5 a minute ago was resistance when we broke through it. At this point, we were coming up against it. When it's above it, it's resistance. When a stock's coming down and hits the $5, it bounces back up. So the whole and half dollars become points of resistance and points of support. Same with 25 cents and like a whole dollar and a half dollar. So it's bouncing off the $5 and it keeps finding support. So there's someone for 1,000 shares at $5, and that did not get filled. So he's still there. Here's someone buying 5,600 at 496. They're hoping to buy it below because they think it's going to bounce as well. So like I said, there's all the orders going through right here. These are the prices that people are willing to pay. And I don't have a full book like I did when I was trading with a DOS trader. I only have just this lines. When I have the full book, it's all the way down to here. I can really see what's going on in the market. This is a very limited view, but I'm okay with it. This stock has a short sell restriction, which means you can only buy it when the stock is a green ticker when it's going up. So now I'm going to even 2,000 shares in. I bought 200 more shares at 513 total. So I'm figuring out that I've got 2,000 shares times 513 tells me how much I'm into the stock right now. I'm in $10,260. And I'm down $152. Now I'm down $112. I need the stock to go up. Now I'm down 32. There it goes. Look at it go. That's a good stock. It's above this candle here. Almost, yeah, it's above this candle here. That's a real good sign on the 5 minute. Now I'm up $48. I'm waiting for it to climb. We're looking 513, 510, 507. That's not a very nice candle. I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Coming back down, trying to bounce off the $5 mark. And it's thinking about it. It's got that wick on there. The wick above is not a good thing. It means it could go down. The longer that wick, the more assuredly that the stock will go down. But it's still small. It went white right there, which means people don't know what they want to do. And starting out the next 1 minute candle green. So it's been going for 11 seconds, 12 seconds. It's got a higher volume than those red candles, which is really good because you can see the red candles have a lower volume and the green candles have more. It should climb right here, is what I'm thinking. I'm down $52 on 2,000 shares. And I still think it's going to take a massive climb. I mean, I'm down 5 cents and I'm down $72. I want to get like a 20 or 30 cent jump on here because that would give me a fair chunk of change. So again, this stock has no resistance over to here. Now, one thing that I think is because the last few days, the stocks have hesitated. The closer we get to 9:30, it'll be done jumping. I think that this stock's going to bleed out closer to 9 o'clock. Oh, there we go, 524. I'm up $228. 525, 528. I want it to keep going. It's got to keep going. It's hesitating. It should have kept going. It should blow through those numbers. So after it dropped back once, I'm going to go take a profit as soon as it gets back up again. I'm hoping it goes. Hoping it goes. Wait for a red order right here. If I sell. There we go. I'm selling it. And boom. I sold the order. I made $432 total. $490 total for the day. And that's my day. That's $500. That's my daily goal, between $500 and $1,000. It hesitated. There's a wick there. I don't trust it. But I happen to know what this stock does, so I'm going to go ahead and play it out. And then I'll go ahead and close this recording. But that was my trade for the day, and I'm saying, you know what? That's really, really good. $500 a day is $96,000 a year. $1,000 a day is $192,000 a year. So I'm still growing my account. I'm still getting my abilities tuned in, and getting my bank account settled so I can trade like this more often. But that is my trade day right there. And I want to go ahead and fast forward. I think this stock was done because it wouldn't take a jump right there. And it's right in the 9. I know that it goes up and then it rolls over and dies here in a minute. I'll fast forward so we can look at that. There's that big jump up to 560. There's a wick. I would have exited right there. I'd probably be at $1,000 today versus $490 if I'd have ridden it. But I'm just not comfortable. The stock is not moving fast enough. It's not taking big enough gains. It's weak. So I'm just going to call it good right there for the day. And if we look, that stock really, really rolled over. And you can see it right there. There's that wick. That means it's going to go down. It tried to go up. It had another wick and it dropped off and died. It ran down all the way back to $5. That move was done. And frankly, that was at 9:03 a.m. And that's not a good signal or a good sign for a stock that's supposed to go really high before 9:30 a.m. So I called it good. I took a profit. I watched my other instructors for the day, and they're at $500 loss and an $1,800 loss. And then one instructor made $6,000 profit. So this is my trading platform. This is my calculator. I put $13,000 in at a price of $6 per share. I can buy 2,167 shares. That's 100% of 13,000. 75%, 50%, 25. And then 5% is $650. 6%, 7%. 10% is $1,100 at that price. 20% or 15% will be 15. Can't see that. That's $1,950. Anyway, this is my trading platform. This is today's trades, and I am up $490, which is within $10 of my daily goal, which I'm pretty darn happy with. So that's it.